Boom, hello and welcome to the Executive Protection Lifestyle Podcast, Season 3. With your host, Byron Rodgers. This podcast is dedicated to the executive protection practitioner, the private security professional. In this podcast, we're going to talk about the mental, emotional, psychological, physiological fitness that goes into being an efficient and effective executive protection agent. Whether you're in law enforcement, whether you're a mom that's looking at how to protect her children, or a father that's focused on how to protect his family, I believe this podcast has something for all of you. We might even get into some tales from the crypts of true Hollywood stories from time to time. I'm doing this podcast because I feel the reality of this job is simple. If you really want to be good at executive protection, it's more than just a job. It really is a lifestyle. And those of you who've been in the game for any serious amount of time, you already know what I'm saying is true. So if that sounds interesting to you, enjoy the show. Out. Boom! What's up, you guys? We're doing something a little bit different with this upcoming podcast. We've been having such tremendous success in the League of Executive Protection Specialists with the first layer of training day, the training day success package. The testimonials are amazing. The feedback is amazing. People getting jobs in the executive protection industry, people getting promotions in the executive protection industry, anyone who's trying to get in and or elevate their career in our beloved industry that takes our course is getting results, and I'm getting feedback on it constantly. So I wanted to give you guys a glimpse into the course, a glimpse into what we do together. I meet with the patrons of the course bi-weekly. So if you're ever, you take a course, usually you have to figure out the rest of your career by yourself. With us, I work with you as long as our careers are going on, or at least one of my instructors. So there's always someone there to help you. It's not just you went to a training course and then it's up to you to succeed. You'll also have a group of people that will work with you, that are doing their careers with you, that are other patrons. So we're creating so much more than a training. It's more than a training. It's a network of success with successful people. It's ongoing. We get to do our careers together, right? You're not alone in the game anymore. And as I build that network, I build your asset if you're part of it. So if you're really serious about your career, definitely take a serious look at Executive Protection Training Day. You can find it at executiveprotectiontrainingday.com. But with this episode, I wanted you guys to get a glimpse into what we do. So these are just conversations I've been having with students, conversations, feedback I've been getting from students that are out in the field that are using the principles, so you can grasp a higher understanding of what this, I want to call it a product because it's so much more than just training, product success package really is all about. All right, you guys, I appreciate you. I look forward to training with you guys. Take care. Talk soon. God bless. Semper Fi. Byron Rodgers, protected by nature and by trade. Out. Boom.
At first, I was a little curious as to how much the training program offered, but after going through the program, I gained more from that than I did in the industry in 3 years. Yes, there's an operational standpoint. There's the operational procedures. There's the advanced work. But most importantly, it was a social dynamics portion and interfacing with the client. And as you said, the royal court, the estate managers, how to work around them and work with them. That was the most important thing I got from it.
How did your time in the course help you with your career?
A few things about that. One, this isn't a one and done program. This isn't like you go there for 5 days, you show up, you learn everything that's on the chalkboard, you take it, then you go home. One, you have access to all this information for life. So if you have any questions or some skills start to get a little rusty because executive protection, there are a lot of perishable skills, you can always go back and refer back to the program. Two, what I got from it was the depth of the program. So there are, I want to say 8 or 9 training modules that cover everything in the industry that, it would help you grow if you had that as your initial foundation. And then 3, I would say the language that you learn from the program and being able to speak it with confidence. And when you're working with your clients, you actually know what you're talking about.
Did you find any brand recognition during your hiring process?
Within the past few months, I was on the job hunt due to a contract failure in Southern California. And when I was going through the application process, I got about 5 or 6 offers, and I want to say some of that was due to the program and the knowledge that I learned from the program. And they would ask me like, hey, you have a lot of this experience, but where did this part come from? Where did this social dynamics part come from? And why are you so articulate in that? And I told them about Bravo Research Group, Executive Protection Day program. So I do want to say that they were curious about the program and the certificate itself, and they were inquiring about you in the program. Because of this program, I do have a job, and I really feel like going back 5 months, if I was to apply for the same position, between my application and my ability to speak confidently about my position and the things that I can do, I don't think I would have it. So yeah, no, I do owe a lot to this program.
Man, what did you think of the course though, real quick, just out of curiosity?
You know, I was skeptical at first because I was just like, man, am I really gonna pay this much money to do something that I think I know how to do? I remember talking to a buddy of mine. He said, man, I know the brother, just go on and invest in it. And everything I thought I knew about this business, as far as just the basics, everything blew my mind. It was just like, oh, I should be doing this and I should be doing that. So first I was humbled, and then after a while it was just like, I'm glad I took this opportunity because the investment paid off immediately. Like, I'm right here talking to you now. So it was kind of like, hey, just get through it, and you know, it is what it is. One-time thing.
So thank you. It's so good to get that feedback from the game, you know, to see how intense dudes are out there, you know, so that's good. What's your work situation? What are you up into?
I have a couple of, I've been getting some work from a couple of companies, but I'm not like as far as contract tied down to anything. I've made it very clear that I network and I want to elevate in this business. Man, I'm following your footsteps, man. I'm going right where you at, man. I've heard the stories and everything, man. So I'm right there. So right now I'm working on my residential. I've been shooting my emails out, my resume, my pictures. So
these are the things that make it so you win. It's one thing to be like, okay, cool, like I took the course and then I tried it once and I put my resume out there once or twice, you know? But it's like, no, you're working the game. You're always networking. You're always in the chats. You're always putting yourself out there, man. And then it works, you know, and you're always doing good work.
This is surreal. And I'm like I say, just to be able to follow in some of the places you've been and just kind of like pick your brain, not even picking your brain. This is actually an honor, man. I'm so pleased. Like this was worth the investment, man. Absolutely.
You're coming up in the game, so I figured you might be perfect for that. What do you think about that?
Put me in, coach. I'm ready. These hands don't shake, man. I'm ready, man. So whatever you got for me, I'm going to figure this out, man. Like this is what I trained for. Like I'm not about to fold now. So whatever you got for me, man, put me in, coach.
Get your feedback, you know, Michael, on just, you know, the things that you got from training with the Executive Protection Training Day Success Package and all that fun stuff. You know?
Right. So I got first introduced to your brand through your podcast. You know, I just got off a deployment. My head was in law enforcement, and I needed to get back into the EP mindset. And I dived into your podcast, soaking up all this information. This is kind of where, you know, I realized who he was. He was the real deal. And then he came out with the Executive Protection Training Day, and I hopped on it like I needed to. And the material, the content provided, it starts you from ground zero and builds you up and actually gives you confidence in conducting details, managing social skills within, you know, the client's social circle. So much more attachments on, you know, how to conduct details. I can talk all day with how much it provides. And the biggest thing is I can take that information for the rest of my life. I have control of that content now, and it's just going to help me in my career. Also being a part of the Facebook group, networking, the amount of help everyone in that group is given is amazing. I mean, they're putting, hey, contact my guy, contact this, I have this, I need some guys. I've never seen so many people get work just because everyone's coming out of the woodworks and everyone's able to talk. We aren't in a small world anymore, and this is what Byron is doing, is opening up our industry, and everyone is talking, you know. So nothing but great stuff, bro. And training with you, with, you know, defensive driving, man. It's been a blast. It's been an honor, man.
How you doing, brother?
I'm good. So I put it in a group. So I had to jump through some hoops to get all licensed. Everything. New York is a little bit difficult, of course. But I did it. I got I got everything in there, and I signed a contract with IPG. I did my first 2 details already. So I had to I still have a lot of catch up from the symposium because I was on a detail.
Yeah.
Was fun. So it's definitely, it's all possible. And I must say, guys, so everybody here, we have already invested a lot of money, as you should do. But I did 2 details. I already got a lot of that money back. So even if you don't have workshops, keep believing in it, do it, and you will make the money back. And invest in yourself. And I try to do all the stuff that was in your course there, Byron.
Yes, sir.
I try to take that as a base. I'm gonna go on with that. I'm gonna do the 7 days of IPA, all that stuff.
Outstanding.
But don't give up, guys. Keep on going. That course was a very great step, and you will make the money back there.
Yes.
It's only gonna get more work around here with all the stuff, the crazy stuff that's happening.
This is so true. The floodgates are wide open in our industry right now. Man,
I'm very happy that I did it.
Say that again, brother.
I'm very happy that I did it, and it gave me a great start. It was a great start to do it. Great information that helped me to do my details good. So.
Good. That was the main thing I was wondering. Like, did you feel prepared that the course gave you information to prepare you?
Definitely. Yes.
Boom.
Definitely.
That's outstanding, brother. That's what I wanted to hear, man. That for me is always really the payoff, is knowing that like solid cats are getting out there, they're getting on their detail, they have an idea, they know what they're needing to do, and even all the way to the social things, because how do I deal with this new group of professionals I'm going to be interfacing with? Like, to me, those are like the big friction points that it's tough that you have to navigate.
Yeah, my second detail was a film crew. So there, it's all social skills.
Oh yeah.
It was unarmed, so it's not always armed. It's a lot of times unarmed. So it's all social skills. It's keeping busy because the long days just standing there. But it's all social skills there, so that's really important. That's how you make a name for yourself.
Yeah, and that's essentially interfacing with the client. And then that's essentially how they're like, hey, we want that guy back. That was a good guy. He was good to work with. He made our load a little bit lighter, a little bit easier. So that's awesome, man.
Hey, I had a moment, so I'm coming at you with a video review of Byron Rodgers' Executive Protection Training Day. I've done a couple of online executive protection training classes trying to transfer over to my current employment into the executive protection world. And by far, Byron Rodgers' Executive Protection Training Day has been the best. He only gives you good information. There's no fluff, there's no fill. He's very a part of the group. He has live Q&As every week where you can ask him questions and talk to him. And he's serious about bettering the community. He's not just putting out information, having a test at the end, and giving you a certification like most courses. He's a part of it. I've already done some great networking in the group, and I guarantee you it's going to get me some job opportunities later on when I fully transition into executive protection. I highly recommend, if you are transitioning from the military or overseas contracting or the LE side, if you're thinking about getting into executive protection, check out the Executive Protection Training Day. It gets you into a different mindset. It gets you from that warrior aspect into the protector mindset of it all. He does a great job helping you transition into that mindset and teaching you it's not all about your hard skills and being the biggest ninja warrior wizard out there, like he likes to put it. It's people skills and soft skills are very important in this game. And he's definitely got me in the right mindset going into this. I've already stolen one of his sayings, is a rising tide lifts all ships. Validating people around you and validating people around me has already made my life a lot better. People always want me on their shifts. People want to work with me more. I've realized that's changed a lot, just validating people around me and lifting up everybody like he does in the group. I cannot stress enough again, guys, if you want a good online training program, I highly suggest you check out Byron Rodgers' Executive Protection Training Day. Check it out, guys.
Started module 3 about halfway through the first chapter on module 3. Absolutely love the program. Like, I'm looking at it as a definite lifestyle change. Like you're always talking about, the lifestyle change and living the lifestyle. Looking for a gym to get some combative skills, because you may beat me in a fight, but I'm gonna get my licks in.
Physical fitness piece, man, for the guys out there in the field, it's huge. Not only because it speaks about your capabilities, but it really helps you sell security. You don't have to be the biggest and baddest guy, but you should be formidable.
What was your take on the Lady Gaga dog walker?
Probably a leak of sensitive information. Him posting this stuff all the time made him a target. And the other funny part is we hate walking dogs, but now the reality is we're probably gonna have to do it more often, and we're probably gonna have to put protection on the dogs. If you're with your principal or doing anything under the banner of your principal's brand, you have to remember that threat on your principal's belongings, life, and all their stuff extends to anyone who's associated with it.
I'm doing the module. I'm on module 2. I'm working for the courts in doing the searches, the archers when they're coming through the courts, looking after, letting the judges through. And then I've got my family to look after as well. But I've been networking. When I'm going through the modules, it's really understanding the way you've come out. And I really like the way you've actually put the videos out, and the CV, digital image management, the resume, the job interview. That was really good. I was like, this is really good stuff. And then when I come to the LinkedIn, it was like, I don't even know how to do any of this. So I was just halfway through it. I think I'm on 15 minutes. So I'm halfway, I'm gonna have to go over it again. So most of the modules that I've done, I'm going over again and again, just to get it into my head to understand, because I'm still learning, and I've got a lot of, just getting into the NAB protector, learning off that as well. So there's a lot of stuff that I'm learning, which will possibly most likely get me towards a job that I really want.
Thank you, brother.
I love you, lads. I absolutely love it. I try my best to comment on the Facebook group as well. So many things going on. It's taken me so long, but it's absolutely brilliant. I love it. I'm going to go over him again, sort of thing, if I've missed anything. But that's why I'm on module 2 at the moment. I'm really enjoying it so far.
A lot of it was your certifications, the training and stuff. The president of the company did some research on you, because I put it in the email along with my resume before he agreed to do the interview. And yeah, he was very, very impressed with the stuff that I told him about your training and just all the different things that I've learned. Because I have a lot of experience, but that just took it to a whole nother level of confidence.
My goal, one of my most important deliverables to you guys as students, is being able to give you the confidence that you're doing executive protection. There's no right way, but you're doing it in a way that you're doing the job well. You're doing a good job, so you can have that confidence when you're on the job, which clients and employers detect, which becomes a deliverable. What would you say was your biggest takeaway from the training, Alan?
Definitely the social MS aspect, just what not to say, and how to handle different situations, and then getting the tactical advantage during the advances, knowing the strong side, weak side of the vehicle and all that, so you could accurately describe it to your client of kind of like what you're going to be doing. Situational awareness, definitely important. So that seems basic to a lot of people, but the way you broke it down in your different modules just was awesome. I tell all the people I know that I recommend the training to that you're the Michael Jordan of EP, and you're doing a great job too with the business aspect of it too, which is definitely a key element. Getting all these awesome guys that are experts in their field together, and it's awesome. No, I don't think anyone's ever done that before that I've ever seen.
Where are you at in the course, bro?
I'm actually right now, I'm on I think it's the 3rd module, just going over like the social dynamics. So after work, I try to get a little bit of time in every night, and just to refresh. But after I go through it all, I'll probably go through it like the 2nd time, just to really be ready for this test. I don't want to look foolish when I take this little quiz. So I want to be prepared.
How are you feeling about it so far, the information you're getting?
I mean, it's solid information, considering I'm getting it from a man with however many years of experience that you've been doing it. You said since 21, I think, right?
Yeah, man, I'm 35.
I mean, you got hands-on experience in the game, and everything that you're telling us and informing us about it's legit. It's legit. And the main thing is that I picked up is really the truth is the soft skills, how you interact with people, and you know, your intuitive response with people, and it's huge. That's huge. How you communicate. You know, people pick up on that. They could feel the energy. They know. People know,
Yes.
and that's I think that's important wherever you go in life. So I appreciate you though, because you're real. You're real.
You know, I just finished the last module, module 5, and I'm like totally new to the protection game, man. And it's very interesting, you know.
Apply to your local companies down there, see what kind of feedback you get, see what kind of interest you get, and then start branching out, start pushing out, you know, and apply to the bigger companies, man. And see what happens. You know, that's the game.
I just signed a, you know, solo. The best thing about being a solo practitioner, you know, I just signed a contract last night. Went back to ground zero.
Yeah.
Got on Google and found, you know, like, you know, things that you talk about all the time. Hey, you know, get your name out to the industry. Even though I've been doing this for a while, found like three new companies in the Nashville area. Sent my resume out to those guys, and then I was driving to detail one of my regular clients.
Yeah.
And started, you know, like, man, I'm gonna listen to a podcast. I messed around and opened up you and Elijah Shaw Own Your Space.
Yeah, man, that one's hot. That one's hot. That's like Hall of Fame.
I never knew this. I never knew your sense of humor, but I laughed for at least 30 miles on the highway. I'm looking at what I'm doing. I'm like, man, you know what? I really didn't have it as bad as Byron. I just want to say thanks, Byron, again. You know, I'm humbled. I'm excited. I really wish the young lady that was on here, my classmate, if she was on here, I could just say thanks, because she caused me to kind of recharge and look back, you know, and be like, hey, let me start back from ground zero and see what's out there. So
yeah, man.
Just want to say thanks.
The other things you said, which were gold, man, is I want everyone else to pay attention to how Larry's running that. He's chasing the pager like a champ right now. You know what I'm saying? You got to remember the formula. No matter how deep you get up in the game, the formula still works, and it actually has a compounding effect, and it works better and better and better. So now he's not just getting started out. He's got details under his belt. He's got different classes and things he's got under his belt. He's got time and service under his belt. Now when he goes back and looks in his area and starts putting his resume back out there, he's going to get a higher volume of returns. And so that formula of continuing to sell security and put yourself out there to companies is huge, man.
If I could say just one more comment, Byron. You know, I know it's for the ones that's in the course or completing the course, it is, you know, Byron's course 1. I've been through a couple of resident courses, executive protection courses, where I'm sitting in class, and great guys, great instructors, but I don't have the ability to reach out to them like this. And second, you know, I notice a lot of guys are trying to, you know, like figuring out, like they want to come in and go right to, you know, whatever your niche is. You know, for me, I started out at uniform security, but because of my values, like Byron said, I connect to the clergy. You know, I just want to say, don't get caught up, you know, with your blindness. Say, hey, I'm only going to do corporate. I'm only going to do celebrity. You know, you gotta build your resume, and then as you start working, your work will gravitate to what you feel comfortable doing. But definitely, what Byron does for us, nobody I know does it like this, where you can just once a week, you know, like, hey, Byron, is this the right thing? Or, you know, some people ask about licenses and, you know, hey, here's what I want to do. I mean, that advice, you can't get it on a regular basis. So, you know, Byron, again, kudos on what you're doing, and hey, don't stop.
I just finished the course. I posted to the chat, but I did just finish the course, and it was a great course. As like I said in my review of it, you know, I learned a lot. So I finished the course. A guy I used to work with at another company, he has his own company out here, and he had a new rap artist client or whatever he had, and paid me to do the advance for him.
Nice.
And because of that, he said, you know what, I want to make you my official advance guy. So
boom, that's what's up. My man, that's what's up.
So I was kind of juiced. Yeah, I was really juiced and excited about that, but that's all because of you, really, to be honest with you. You know, you put the work together. You know, you you pretty much put the field out there, and I just had to go plow it. You know what I mean? And you know, and I appreciate the opportunity to be a part of it. And like I said, because of it, now I have at least one confirmed company that I'm their #1 advanced guy.
I've got some good news. Seriously, I've been moving on. I haven't been on the modules for a bit because the good news is I've moved on with the job sort of thing. So it's carrying me over towards putting me a bit back for the continuing with the module. But it's put me in that process of using your actual soft skills. You know, everything what you put in this course, it's been used and appreciate it. Seriously, you know, it's the best thing that I've ever done. So, you know, I seriously appreciate it. Thank you very much for that.
After our last conversation, I actually, in fact, I got an interview tomorrow with a new company. Been interviewed with 2 permanent clients, that's what I'm looking for. We got to the hotel and immediately I just said, hey, do you mind if we sit over here? He's like, why? I said, well, you know, the kind of conversation we're gonna have, I like to be able to see everything, put my back to a wall and stuff. And he was like, yeah, you're the guy.
Yeah, boom, man. That's it.
He told the company, the guy I'm working for under his company, he's like, hey, tell the other dude we're good.
We're good.
So, yeah, he said, hey, look, once this work out, I want you to be with me and my family. He's like, do you mind carrying, you know, bags and stuff? I said, look, if it doesn't jeopardize security, bring it. I'll be the best bag carrier you got, you know.
My man.
So, I mean, a lot of things that you talked about, like, really came to, you know, evolution.
And I think that you showing your situational awareness in a respectful manner, being like, hey, sir, do you mind if we sit over here so I can literally do the job I'm going to be doing for you?
Exactly.
Man, that was money. You know, that's good, man.
I just got a potential offer on the table for some international travel coming up next month.
Nice.
For an artist. So negotiations are going to start with management on Friday. And he wants me to jump on board as the actual team leader.
Nice, my man. That's big.
The first location is international. So I'm like, all right, well, here we go. So, got to go back to my modules and start looking up international travel and pocket advances and all that stuff. So, you know.
No, 100%, man. And now the game, like the world's opening back up. We do a lot of stuff and the game can become one-dimensional, you know? So like during COVID, it was like, boom, it was like, I'm putting my residential teams in, we're doing some domestic travel, but you know, it's all one-dimensional. And then all of a sudden you might find yourself, oh snap, I got to go do a single man advance internationally. And I haven't done this for a minute. And I think that's one of the hugest deliverables is like, you can literally go right back to the module. You have some advances I've already done. You can literally just go back in the classroom and be like, all right, sweet, fresh. Let me just hit this content that I have right here, you know, and know that you're doing it, you know, the way someone else who's doing it is doing it, and they know that it's done right, you know, so that's huge, man.
Yeah, and I picked up a, I guess, part-time client because he's an athlete. So when he's off season, he's here in Dallas. Nice. And so I picked that up recently too. So when he's back in Dallas, I'm jumping on that detail as well. So
heck yeah, man. That's huge. You're winning, bro. That puts gas in my tank, man. I'm always happy to hear.
I mean, I'm grinding, man. I'm grinding. I'm telling everybody about, you know, the executive training day program, you know, and trying to get people on board with that as well. And a lot of my guys are, you know, really interested. You know, it's just coming down to a budget thing. And I told them, like, look, they'll work with you, you know.
I just got back into the country. I was in Costa Rica for a detail, so I just barely got back.
Nice.
But right now I'm gonna focus on the course. I just barely got back, so
yeah,
I need to get on it. And I'm also gonna take that driving course that you referred to.
Yeah, man, the AS3 joint.
I know the one thing that you said is, for me, I take it in mind is knowledge is the key to unlock poverty.
So, yes. Yeah, man. Knowledge is potential power, man. And then applying that knowledge is how we get that power, man. It's like, if you want a higher quality life, you got to make higher quality decisions. You want to make higher quality decisions, you got to get higher quality information, man.
You know, I appreciate you for opening this door for us and allowing us to learn the opportunity to be better at this.
Thank you, man. That means a lot. That puts gas in my tank, man. It means a lot to see you guys getting value from this stuff.
Well, how you doing? It's good to finally meet you.
You too. Thank you. I started doing research and I found you, and that's why I'm investing in you. Because, you know, to be the best, you got to be with the best. I need to go to another level, and I need to surround myself with the people who are at this level. You don't have to throw your weight around. Just do what you need to do. And train. People want to see you train. They want to see who you are. You know, I can't wait to finish the modules and stuff. By the way, I'm really like, I'm only on 2, but I'm really liking it.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to hear that.
I know this sounds like a crazy question. Probably not, but all these opportunities have been coming to me. But where do I start looking? Like, where do I go?
Walk through all the doors. Yeah, when you pay for these courses, use them as networking opportunities. Make sure you make a connection with everyone in the course, serve everybody there, and perform at a high level, you know, which you're going to do naturally.
I took a lot of your advice and it worked. And it made me fall in love even more with doing the job.
Good.
That's like the best part of it. And it opened my eyes to things I wasn't seeing before, which was great, because I would never have known that unless somebody would have pointed that out like you did. I also took your advice on just jumping on opportunity. Anything. And I have to be honest, it's absolutely amazing the people I'm meeting.
Yeah. Beautiful.
I signed your survey for like some exclusive class. I mean, I see the results of what you stay and from the classes or from your modules and stuff.
Awesome.
And speak to you. I posted on my story on Instagram your program, your training day.
Yeah.
I got a lot of people who like DM'd me. They're like, man, I just don't want to invest in it, and is it really worth it? And I'm like, yeah. You got to spend money to make money, and this is worth it. If you want to do it right, do it right. Just be who you are and do the things that you do, you know. And like you said, invest. Yeah, I was just talking to a networking that I met, and he took me out to the range yesterday. He was giving me the compliments of the tools I've taken to you. He said he hasn't seen in a long time the professionalism that he's seen with what I'm bringing to the table. He's like, I don't know where you're getting your training from and where you're learning this, but whatever you're doing it the right way. And people, he straight up said, he's like, I'm having a hard time finding people who are just as professional as you are. And they don't realize in the EP world right now, we are going to be a need. And why, he said, I don't understand why I don't see more people taking classes and getting certified right now, because EP is a little slow on some things. And why are you not taking advantage of training and getting that? Because principals right now, and he's like, I know this because I own a company, principals are now wanting to know your background. He's like, you're doing it right. He's like, you actually thought it through and started doing it right. Well, I thought it through because of listening to your podcast and listening to your training day. Your training day video is legit. It's like, I don't want to hear excuses. You can find the time and the money to go buy this, but why can't you find the time to invest in you? And then you say something about, do you want to be
a specialist, or do you want to be a generalist? You know,
that's exactly it. I want to be a specialist. Driving. Oh, I still bummed I couldn't go to that driving thing.
It would have been great to train.
I know, I'm so jealous, but I'm going to get it at the SIG Academy, okay? I've been taking a lot of your advice to heart. I really have, and it's been showing. I mean, my Instagram's been showing it, and meeting the people and training and learning the field. Because if you don't learn the field, you're just going to keep repeating yourself over and over again and getting frustrated and look at that person and go, why is it that person's there and I can't be there? I just wanted to say thank you. I know that you're very busy. I just wanted to catch up with you and tell you, hey, I'm freaking crushing out there training. I love the fact that you're doing competition. Awesome. I wish I could do competition. I just don't know where to start with that.
Once you get on the path, you don't feel right unless you're sharpening your edge. Progress equals happiness. So you sit there and you're like, I gotta keep moving. And then when you start investing in yourself, other people and other relationships start investing in you. One hand washes the other. It's like, oh, now people are seeing, okay, you're a serious professional. You're out here. You're investing in yourself. I can invest in you. I'll put my name on you and put you in front of a client or put you on a team, or, it's like, it's a whole other pedigree. There's levels to this stuff. It's a whole other pedigree.
So I've got Kevin Williamson here with me, and dude, man, what's it been like being inside of the training day success package? What have you seen? What have you experienced?
I mean, it opens you up to a world of its possibilities and truth towards the EP industry. I mean, it's nothing but levels of soft skills, hard skills combined in one, merged in one, to this new present day and age of how the industry is reacting towards, cases, crime, across the board. But I suggest anybody that's interested in getting a higher level of training, whether it's through EP work or private security work, definitely jump on this and get on board. This driving class we did today through AS3 was awesome. Outstanding. Awesome. I mean, it puts you in the that fight or flight situations where you got to learn how to react, how to react, keep yourself calm, and this is just the beginning of my journey through leveling up and my courses. But my next one is Protector Symposium 4.0.
That's what's good. So
we'll be out in Miami.
Heck yeah.
And leveling up out there as well.
Heck yeah.
That's tactical shooting, a little bit of hand-to-hand combat.
We're gonna be inside vehicles and all that. And just so you guys know, Kevin's some rising talent in the game. So you guys are staffing stuff. Take a look at him. Personally, there's certain people in my course that stand out, that have the total package. Kevin's one of those guys, man. So it's an honor that we're connected. It's an honor that we get to train
Learning
together.
from the best right here. You know that.
Thank you. It's an honor to be able to contribute.
I did my first 2 details already. So I had to I still have a lot of catch up from the symposium because I was on a detail.
Yeah.
Was fun. So it's all possible. And I must say, guys, so everybody here, we have already invested a lot of money, as you should do. But I did 2 details. I already got a lot of that money back. So even if you don't have work, just keep believing in it, do it, and you will make the money back. And invest in yourself. And I try to do all the stuff that was in your course there, Byron.
Yes, sir.
I try to take that as a base. I'm gonna go on with that. I'm gonna do the 7 days of IPA, all that stuff.
Outstanding.
But don't give up, guys. Keep on going. That course was a very great step, and you will make the money back there.
Yes.
It's only gonna get more work around here with all the stuff, the crazy stuff that's happening.
This is so true. The floodgates are wide open in our industry right now.
So
Man,
I'm very happy that I did it.
Say that again, brother.
I'm very happy that I did it, and it gave me a great start. It was a great start to do it. Great information that helped me to do my details good. So.
Good. That was the main thing I was wondering. Like, did you feel prepared that the course gave you information to prepare you?
Definitely. Yes.
Boom.
Definitely.
That's outstanding, brother. That's what I wanted to hear, man. That for me is always really the payoff, is knowing that like solid cats are getting out there, they're getting on their detail, they have an idea, they know what they're needing to do, and even all the way to the social things, because how do I deal with this new group of professionals I'm going to be interfacing with? Like, to me, those are like the big friction points that it's tough that you have to navigate.
Yeah, my second detail was a film crew. So there, it's all social skills.
Oh yeah.
It was unarmed, so it's not always armed. It's a lot of times unarmed. So it's all social skills. It's keeping busy because the long days just standing there. But it's all social skills there, so that's really important. That's how you make a name for yourself.
Yeah, and that's essentially interfacing with the client. And then that's essentially how they're like, hey, we want that guy back. That was a good guy. He was good to work with. He made our load a little bit lighter, a little bit easier. So that's awesome, man.
First detail run the other night. I think it's season 2 on the podcast where you were talking about advance, and sometimes I was gonna put it in there, and then I was like, nah, don't charge for advance, just go do your advance and make it look good on you, because in and around the area where he's operating, it's not a long area, it's less than 15 miles. It's okay for you to just drop that in there,
Right. You let them know the goal, especially something they understand, is yes, I'll be conducting security operations with you, but what that means to you is that your life will be safer and more efficient. I'm going to take care of security. I'm going to take care of making sure a lot of things go a lot smoother than they have. And you just focus on your mission, peace of mind and proficiency. What did you think of the course, my man? How was it for you?
Hands down, I'm not going to lie to you. It's the best. Right now, I'm going over this stuff. And so what I'm doing right now, I'm trying to think, because even though Valentine's is coming up, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna run some advance, get some repetition in, you know?
Yeah.
Like, get in there, man, and get some stuff done, you know?
Yeah.
I'm telling you though, man, it's amazing. It's nothing I've come across, you know? You went in depth on a lot of things that a lot of people didn't touch, you understand?
Right.
And you went into the service stuff, you know, social dynamics. I think that's an excellent module, man. I'm telling you, I keep on watching it. I'm like, yo, I'm glad I have access to this, because trust me, a lot of companies like, oh, okay, do the exam, see ya.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, you know, I get to get into this and understand, and I can shoot into the group and say, yo, I have this problem, such and such. You don't just show the slide, but you explain in depth, and you give examples, and you show real life situations and how you do it, you know? Right. And like you said, it's not the way, it's a way. And I believe your way is a good way.
I know a lot of times everybody says like 15 minutes early is, you know, on time, and if you're on time, you're late. But I'm doing a lot of reasoning into business etiquette and seeing that clients are saying that if you're on time, that's punctual. And if you're 15 minutes early, well, you have time to waste. I don't.
I would say your client can be on time. Your client can be late. That we don't care. The money's green. We're there. We got their back. But as far as us as executive protection professionals, you need to be in that area 1 hour early, bro. What have you thought of the course so far? I always like to get that feedback.
Oh man, it's night and day. I mean, it's easy to follow. If you don't have an experience in it, I think it's very, you break it down Barney style. I like it. That's easy for me. One of the things I really like is when you go to school, they give you, hey, this is the book learning. Then you get out in the real world, they're like, oh, forget all the book learning stuff. You just, we're going to teach you something different. And I think you're already preparing us for what's in the streets and what's going on ahead, and that's great. And you're giving us the book learning too, like here's some of the basics you can fall back on.
I just want to say, first of all, thank you, Byron, so much for your content, man. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm very selective of how I've been doing my training, because I'm trying to excel to the next level. I really selected you simply because of all the content and what you were saying, like this stuff I can use. It's not just a school setting, you know, like the one that's already said before. It's not like pay $1,500, come to my class for a week,
right?
And then, you know, be done. Like, I'm really into this. I'm currently right now module 5, the advanced, which I am loving to death.
I'm on my, I think, second or third module.
Okay.
Just started maybe a few days ago, but I've been following you ever since you started. Well, ever since, I mean, I think you were posting stuff back in the day, maybe close to 10 years ago, and then you doing security for. So I was like, yeah, Byron, you know. So when you came up with the program, man, it just came at the right time.
Man, that's cool. Thanks so much for the support, man. 10 years is about the beginning, man. Like, you seriously were there at the beginning. That means a lot.
Right. Yeah, man. I'm really excited, man. You put the passion back into my calling when it comes to security stuff.
Heck yeah, man. No, that's so good to hear. That's what it's all about, is being lucky enough to do stuff you're passionate about in life is such a blessing.
I definitely learned a lot on just being able to grab a detail, especially when I'm piggybacking and filling in with some guys that's already working together, instead of, I try not to use my military background, my resume in the military. I just want to be the guy that needs to, where I need to go, what I need to do, and being humble, and then letting my work speak for me instead of my resume definitely helped me out a lot. And then most importantly, the soft skills. So one of the clients that I recently worked with in Washington, D.C., we came under some inclement weather, and I was one of the only guys that actually had an umbrella in my kit.
Oh.
And, So, you know, like everybody was like, well, you know, we pay, you know, it's armed, so we all packing and stuff. But, you know, when the client walked out and everybody was like, I'm gonna have to take my jacket off. I'm like, no, I got an umbrella. And that was it, you know. So, yeah, that definitely increased my little bonus in the wages department. So I really appreciate that. So the soft skills definitely is what paying off that I'm learning. It's not, you know, the running and gunning. It's just being able to, that customer service is what keeps you working.
I'm just kind of getting into the game myself, you know?
Yeah.
I took your course. I thought the course was great.
Awesome.
I gained a lot from it, so I'm definitely going to be using that in the future. I've worked security like as far as like clubs go and stuff, but nothing like EP work. But EP work has been my dream for a long time now. I've been pursuing it big time, studying it and watching you guys and learning from you guys, you know, different skills and things.
Be networking, man. Be networking, you know. Make sure you're, you know, swapping cards, swapping digital contact cards with those people, making sure you're connecting with everyone you're training with, because that's how you start widening that sphere of relationships that I talk about, because that's how the opportunities find you.
I'm new to the EP field. I am currently in Module 7. Just got done Module 7. Of course, it's been really great so far. The first 3 modules where you're talking about the soft skills, I really like that part of the course, and it's great because the type of job I do now, it's all about soft skills. I'm in the construction union currently right now, and I'm trying to move towards the EP field. I seen your webinar, and I was like, man, that's an opportunity I can't pass up. You know, this, you know, felt like the right time and place. So I went ahead and, you know, it's like I really want to do a hands-on course, but like I said, the opportunity that you were providing seemed, you know, too good to pass up.
I can say with absolute certainty that, man, this is going to be a course that's going to continue pouring into you over the course of your career. You know what I'm saying? This is the type of course that, you know, you're not just going to go through a week-long training and then be left by yourself to try to figure out how to do your career, you know? So I'm going to be here with you when, you know, you do the things I tell you to do in the course and they work. I'm gonna be here with you when you do the things they tell you to do in the course and they don't work. And I'm gonna do the best I can to help you achieve success over the course of your career.
What would you recommend for someone, you know, a rookie like myself? What is like the must have of everyday carry? Like, I don't want to show up and be like, oh, you don't have that? You know, everyone's supposed to have that, you know?
I mean, if you're doing armed security, you want to have a weapon. Do you have a firearm?
I don't, not yet.
Okay, so if you're going to buy a firearm, I might upset some people, but I'm just going to tell you what I think. You know, it's like, firearms are like gangs, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got Glock guys, you got SIG guys, you know, you got Beretta dudes, H&K guys. I'm just going to say, just get a Glock 19, okay? It's the most dependable. I think it's a perfect pistol. I think it's like perfect. It's small enough to conceal if you need to conceal it, if you have to go CCW. It's big enough to where if you have to go exposed, you don't look weird, you know? Everyone knows a Glock 19 is enough gun to fight somebody. That you want to make sure you have a good holster with some retention. So if you're going in an exposed format, you need to have at least a level 1 holster. So that means you need to have something on the holster, like at least a snap, but preferably some type of button to stop the weapon from simply being able to be taken out of the holster. The other most important thing on me at all times is my light. If you can get like a pocket IFAK, like a tourniquet, it's good to have a tourniquet on your body as well. Depending on what type of work you're doing, cuffs, restraints are good if you're doing exposed work. If you're doing EP style work, cuffs are less desirable. Plain clothes work, you generally want to leave the area. Now, if you're doing residential work though, because you might start on a residence, you want to make sure you have cuffs or some type of restraints. You can have zip tie restraints like the Aspen zip tie restraints or a pair of cuffs. Make sure you have a key to those as well. And then the other thing that's really cool, if you have, but it depends,
because it depends on the radio gear, the equipment they give you, is a good surveillance kit. So that's like the kit that plugs into your radio and goes to your ears. You can get the conventional pigtail. You know, if you're just starting out, that's fine. Get the wires for the most common types of radios. But when you want to upgrade, In-Ear is a company that makes really, really good surveillance kits. If you're in a suit, there are a few rules. One, a lot of details ask for black suits, so you have to get a black suit. It's just part of the game. A lot of details are like black suit or dark suit. Black is kind of like, are you a waiter? Are you the bellboy? You're gonna get my keys, pull my car up? What are you gonna do? Now, sometimes it's required because you're in like a bouncer or security format, or just the owner of your company is kind of old school and they want you in black suits, you know? So you have to have a black suit for those occasions. But whenever you can get away with it, go with a dark suit, like a dark gray, like a charcoal gray. It just psychologically, you're of a higher pedigree if you're in a dark suit. If you're in a black suit, you're working, you're the help. White shirts mean professional, black shirts, unprofessional. Black suit, white shirt, black tie. Personally, I like to throw in a little bit of color on the tie. It's just a much more professional look. Blues and reds is a more presidential look, Secret Service look. And that's no patterns on the suits. And then buttons, you never button a suit unless you have, you know, advantages. Like my gray man suit has a fake button, has fake buttons on it. So if I throw one button up top, you know, it's because it's a snap and it's the exact same draw stroke for me to pull my weapon as it is if I was wearing a t-shirt. So now I blend in even more. I look like a civilian, but I'm in a suit, and it's kind of like, oh, is this guy working, or is this guy like, what is this guy? With the buttons from the bottom up, it's from the top down, it's always, sometimes, and never. So never button your bottom suit button. Sometimes you could do the second one. The top one stays buttoned if it's a really nice event, but don't even worry about that. I would suggest don't button your suit, because then other EP dudes will be like, look at this guy, like he's even working, like that's unprofessional.
When do you want to use armor?
To me, armor directly correlates with your threat level. So if you're, also working in an exposed format, if your gun's exposed, like I like to have armor if my gun's exposed, because you know you're the first target. So if the weapon's exposed, I got body armor on. If my emblems and stuff exposed, I like to have body armor on. Threat level with clients, if they have active threats against them and you're doing like a witness protection situation, or a legitimate crew is after your client, that's when you want to make sure and have the body armor on and stuff like that. And then it also depends on your client.
I have my own personal vehicle, but I don't have nothing flashy or fancy. I just have a little Nissan Sentra. So it's getting something a bigger, maybe a SUV vehicle, something that I need to look forward to in the future, or in case I may take a client with me, or
I'd say for now, like these clients aren't expecting you to be a millionaire or a billionaire, right? As far as you needing to go out and buy another car, don't do that until you're ready. The main thing is that when they get in that car, if for some reason they're like, hey, if something happens and you're like, well, sir, I've got my vehicle here if we need it, if we absolutely need to transport you because the limo didn't show up or the driving service didn't show up, that they get in your car and it's nice and clean and professional, because they're gonna be judging you on that. Okay. Physical appearance, it's like and they teach us a lot, like, oh, it shouldn't matter, it doesn't matter. But with this job, it does matter, man. It's one of those things the clients are going to be looking at. It's one of those things that people who have brands are going to be looking at. And then it just matters for all the reasons we all know it does.
I told you I was working my way through the podcast. I'm about halfway through season 2. I've talked to so many people, and you've connected me to Christian West and Jared and all these guys. It's amazing, and it was, I'm kind of like Phil. I turned 50 in December, and wow. I'm literally getting ready to start the second part of my life. And I'm more excited. I've always wanted to be in this. It's kind of like all the guys that you interview, they know it's in them, you know, that protector's always in them, you know. And I think I struggled for so long. I got into a job where, you know, it was a job I was making great money. It's a good job. I like it, but it's not where my heart is.
Right.
You know, and I think, you know, I honestly believe that, you know, coincidences don't just happen. People come into your life for a reason. And, you know, there was a reason I got your email on, you know, joining the class. And, you know, I sat through that, you know, little Zoom conversation with you. And I was like, man, where have you been all my life? The whole me meeting you, taking your course, you know, listening to the advice you gave me, it's because I think, you know, the sunset is coming for that and my actual civilian job, you know. And you know, by the grace of God, like you say, you know, this other door has opened for me, and now I need to walk through it. And I definitely, it's a lot easier when someone's telling you, and you're like, every time that you do something, you see that result, and you're just like, oh, all right, so this guy's got the right formula. And this, you know, I thank the Lord every day, you know, when I turn that podcast on and I start listening, or, you know, I crank one of my audiobooks on, because, you know, I do podcasts for as long as I can usually. And then, you know, I'll switch it up with the audiobook for a while and then come back to the podcast.
It's so powerful because what's happening is your brain's being fed higher quality content. You're on, like when you said podcasts and audiobooks, I was like, that's a fantastic psychological diet. You'll even find yourself having conversations with people and watching movies. And because you're used to such high quality, chewy, like high vibrational content, you'll find you start craving that, you know? So if the conversation isn't of substance, you have to kind of be gracious, you know what I mean? Because you're used to taking in, and it's such a beautiful way to upgrade your life, because the value, the things you see in your life are coming from the algorithm you use to make decisions. You want a higher quality life, you make higher quality decisions. You want to make higher quality decisions, you need higher quality information. And
I'm on the part with the resume.
Nice.
I'm thoroughly enjoying everything. I actually got, I mean, I see you making moves on social media. I actually just went through Elijah Shaw's course. And
nice.
Elijah had nothing but great things to say about you. So I was like, man, let me check it out. Yeah, so I'm still new in the game. You know, I'm teachable. I'm just trying to learn and be an empty sheet of paper and let, you know, these different experts write on me. So I'm actually currently looking to hire a driver for this truck. What's your advice for my first tour? What do you have for me?
The main thing is expect to work hard, expect to go without sleep, go hard, you know, push, make sure you're contributing, but mouth shut, eyes open, man. Be the last dude to talk every single time, and don't even talk unless they ask you to say anything. You know, just be like, hey, I'm here to learn the ropes. I'm here to learn how you guys do business. And that's how you survive. I know you'll do great, but that would be my number one thing, man. You're going into a new social environment. Learn the players on the board, learn the power players, listen, soak it all up, and be the last dude to speak in there, man. And then, you know, never get complacent, you know? So, you know, the first couple shows, you probably be on edge. Like you'll be like, because you're trying to recognize what threats look like. Like someone makes a move by the stage or does something, you're gonna be more reactive, you know, but you need to key off the teammates that are veterans so you know when to move and when to actually hold up. No, the artist likes this. You know, a different artist might want us to move, but wait, what's the artist want, or what do our detail leaders want? Just start paying attention to the social power structure and soak it up, man. That's the game.
When you're conducting your events and you're trying to set up a police escort, or you're coordinating with hotel management or venue management, what I guess what are some of the considerations you go into these meetings with? When, you know, what angle do you take? How do you convince these guys, you know, to let you in the back or let you use the freight elevator or things of that nature?
I just basically tell the venue, the hotel, whoever it is, you know, we're on the same team. We want to get the client to have the best experience. And that's how I can make sure you get that white envelope before we leave. That's another huge one. If your client does want you guys tipping people and caking people up, which is very important. Hopefully your client does do that, because that really helps a lot. But if you don't have that asset, because details vary. The whole vibe is like, it's an honor to be here. You guys look really squared away. You know, I'm glad to work with a good team, a good venue, a high-end hotel that knows what they're doing. And then when I ask for things that are a little bit, like when I ask for things that might be a little bit overreaching, I act like, all right, you guys are a high-end organization. I'm sure you guys do this all the time. You know, where would be our parking space? And, you know, and I almost act like I expect them to give me things that a high-end organization would do. You know, the cheat code is when you rent vehicles, make sure you get 2 keys and make sure you hold on to one and you have a parking spot downstairs. So then you can give them a key if they won't let you hold on to both the keys and you still have your key, you know what I'm saying?
Byron, I was just gonna say, I just want to thank you again. I don't want to ask too many questions, but man, I thank you. That was really good stuff, and I'm taking mental notes. I'm gonna jot it all down once I'm done driving.
Absolutely.
Any medical courses that you would recommend?
I know the hiring manager for the biggest EP team in the game right now. He's building an EP team it's like 60 dudes. Last time we talked, he's like, I'm hiring 6 different DLs, you know, high-end stuff, lots of upward mobility, great company. So this stuff is out there. But he was talking to me and he's like, and we're only taking the best of the best. We're only taking people who have these creds. And when it came to medical, he was saying minimum EMT certification. So going to schools is good for medical, but what's really, really recognized is EMT certs. When you're at these training environments, you know, there's your opportunity to serve the class, show the class what you're made of. Even if you're not the best, have the best attitude, you know, serve the class, you know, be someone who's awesome to train with, be someone who has a humble attitude, who's genuine, you know what I mean? Make real connections while you're there. You don't have to be the best. You just need to be somebody that when they walk away, they're like, you know what? I'd love to work with that guy. He had a great attitude. And then the other huge thing, where you have your contact card set up, you know, make sure you have either some physical cards to hand out. I don't use physical cards anymore. Boom. So that's my card. I walk up, tap their phone. They instantly have my contacts, my photo, all my social media links that I want them to have. It's called an OVU card, you know, and you don't need to spend money on getting cards. If you just have in your cell phone, scroll to contacts, have a digital card, you know, but have something ready to give people and to be networking when you're at these training events, because that's big, man. You don't want those relationships to go to waste. After this training day, we have the master's class coming where you'll be able to learn from all the rest of kind of the who's who, you know, the Elijah Shaws, the Christian West. There's like 12 of them. All the big dogs in the industry are going to be teaching modules in this course. And I am still, and it's taken a long time because we are literally creating a social media platform for you guys. I'm still building out our website where your profiles will be showcased. Your profiles will be on that website, behind the veil of the website, so companies can log in, shop you guys, and my marketing machine will be behind you guys because you guys find work. You guys positively impact the industry. That brings more equity to the course, which brings more equity to all of us, which brings more equity to this legacy. What did you think of the course and all that stuff?
The course was awesome. I still plug into it, you know. I still go back and just go over anything I need, you know, that I think I need training on. So I always go back and continue to use the course. And that's the great thing about the course is that you can go back, you know, it's not like you're taking a bunch of copious notes when you go to an actual school where, you know, you got the information and you can always go back and, you know, re-educate yourself or pick up little bits of nuggets here and there as you go back and redo it again, because you may not have been tuned in, or you may be doing a job where some specific sticks out that, oh, I just encountered that, or I just did that, or, you know, something on that level, you know.
You know, make sure all your social media accounts are clean. Make sure your LinkedIn is solid, and then make sure your resume is, I would say get it as good as you can get it, and then take it to one of these professionals on Fiverr and have them make it like perfect, because, you know, they are nerds and they're good at this. And then keep going to trainings, because that's just going to make you more attractive, and then it's going to supercharge your networking. Make sure you got a good tailored suit, you got the right gear, so when you show up, you come correct.
What is the right gear? But does it that would depend on the detail too, right?
Right. Make sure you have good tailored suit that's tailored to you nice. Like my personal opinion, if you can afford it, is 100%, and I don't make any money from these sales. Grayman and Company makes tactical suits. It will be the last suit you want to wear. And then in terms of Ear Pro, like your surveillance gear, I run simply the best in the business is in ear. A lot of the industry right now is transitioning to Zello. So Zello is an app you'll learn about, but it turns your phone into a two-way radio. And with that, I run I run my aftershocks. Make sure you get yourself a good flashlight. Flashlight is another mark of a dude who knows what he's doing.
What about shoes? So are you using like hard sole, or you like the Cole Haans or something like that?
There's like a war between Cole Haan and Echoes. So whatever you have, make sure it's got a good like rubber sole on the bottom. Nowadays, 90% of the time, I'm rocking what I'm working in what I have on today. You know, I'm business casual. When things start coming, you know, don't second guess it. Do all the details, bro, because that's how you get that experience. And then even more importantly, that's how you get the networking for dudes who end up calling you for more details. What do you think about the module so far? What do you think about the educational value and stuff?
I think it's awesome. The way you relay the information is really good. Like, I don't know if that's for everybody, but like, I like the, you know, one, you're relaxed with it. And then there's always, when you bring up a point, there's always a why. I'm the type of person that I need to know it, because it helps me, you know, it helps me retain the information, and it helps me to like critically, I'm the type of person that's like analyzing all this as you're telling me, and you're like, well, why do you do it this way instead of that way? And you give the why, and you give it in a way that it's easy to understand. It's not like in, you know, like in EP textbook language, you know. So it's like, yeah. So yeah, it's been great so far. I'm already like halfway through my pad now with all my notes. But yeah, it's been real good.
I was like, I think I'm gonna make a course, you know. And one of my best friends was like, nah, dude, like you're too young. You can't, like, no one's gonna listen to you. And I'm like, homie, this is the only job I've had since I was 21. Like, I'm 30 something. I'm 35 now, but like when I dropped that course, I was like 32 or 3. I was like, I'm just gonna give it to them. They're like, yeah, but like you haven't done all these high-end schools. And I'm like, yeah, but all I've done is learn the game from the game.
Great. I was actually talking to my mother about this today, and just how everything, you know, how you teach it, and then the fact that I can go back. So 5 years from now, I can go back to it. You know, if you add stuff, I can go back to it. It's a beautiful thing.
You might start off doing halls and walls. You might start off doing events. But then eventually, when you get to a certain level and you have to go do a single person advance, you know, all by yourself, you can go back to that module and be like, yo, how the heck, you know, and you have it right there. Or you can ask me in one of these meetings, you know, and I can be like, yo, check it out. This is how I do it. This is how you don't mess it up.
In 3 weeks, man, I'm going to do my evasive driving course with AS3 driving training, man. So,
outstanding.
Yeah, I have to go going, man. And then my 4th interview is with the CEO tomorrow for their company. So, hold it to it, man.
You're on interview number 4.
Number 4, man. They interview me 3 times already. Tomorrow is the CEO, and then I think that'll be it. So.
You're staying in the game, man. That's the 4th round. So this must be a serious spot you're looking at, man.
A lot of what you teach is very important about the social dynamics on the soft skills, man. And that is what will keep us in the game. You know, we can always find places to do the hard skills, but that soft skill is definitely what's at play here, man, to be honest, because not once did I get talk about firing a weapon or all of that stuff. You know, it was, hey, do you have social intelligence? You know, can you communicate? Can you be able to, you know, talk to the royal court, you know, be respectful and all of that, you know, and not having this big ego about you that, hey, I know how to do this, I don't need to do that. I didn't have any formal training. And then I spoke with Pablo, and Pablo was like, yo, you with Byron? Here's a discount.
Oh, yo, Pablo, AS3. Y'all got that discount at the bottom of in the course in our module, so you can always have
And if you say you're with me to Pablo, Pablo's like family.
What's the balance? Where's my line that I start, teaching and preaching to my guys? Like, hey, when you go there, but don't go too far, or don't go. Yeah. You got to be that gentle monster, but you got to don't be afraid to let them off the leash.
Right. I'd say, especially in this arena, where you're dealing with, you said kids, maybe a kid's trying to sucker punch someone. I would lean, I'd make sure that my guys were equipped to go out there and deal with that. It's a pretty sophisticated equation, Mm-hmm. Make sure your guys understand what they can and can't do. Make sure they understand that with authority. Make sure they understand where and how you can back them up if they have to make a decision in the field. Make sure they understand what excessive force looks like, so they know that they use the perfect amount of force to deal with that threat. And then make sure that they're aware of the fact that what they do needs to sell security. So what they do when it gets recorded needs to also sell security. But then also, you do not want them feeling like they are not able to defend themselves. Otherwise, they will not act, and you will not have security. And you can start documenting these cases and saying, hey, this is what we're dealing with. This is what we're seeing out here. This is how we'd like to deal with it. What do you guys think? How would you like us to deal with it? And start pulling them into that conversation.
I appreciate your time and effort, man. It's always good to get these mentorship events in. I appreciate you.
When you're vetting, how critical is the cover letter, and what is it that you like to see?
More than resumes that are like, a brief bio and bullets of background and capability, is I'm just getting a one page document with a nice professional photo, and then almost like a bio that talks about the person's character, what they bring to the professional organization, like kind of like character, and then it goes into skills and background, and then it goes into, just kind of the pleasant ending, really, which is just kind of like, this is what I want to do for your company, and this is how I treat clients, So now the cover letter and the bio are actually seeming to be the most important thing out there with guys that are getting work. When it comes to EP guys, what I'm looking for is, I want natural leadership. So if they have had management or leadership spots, that's huge. The ability to understand service, because that's what's going to keep them with that principal and with that client. So anything that's service related that they've done is really, really big for me. And then finally, that they're investing in themselves and they're investing in their training, and that they are investing in the skills necessary to do the job, so they know how to do the job. And I'll even take that guy over a guy that has a whole bunch of experience, because that guy who's investing in himself and understands service and leadership, aka a decision maker, that's the guy that's going to really last. Some of the guys that have all the training in the world are like, you can't teach them anything.
Just want to say thank you. Appreciate your depth of experience. I appreciate your humility and the guests you bring on. Holy cow. You want to talk about some value add, man? It's ridiculous,
It's all possible. And I must say, guys, so everybody here, we have already invested a lot of money, as you should do, but I did 2 details. I already got a lot of that money back. So even if you don't have work, just keep believing in it, do it, and you will make the money back.
So really enjoying the classes, and we're enjoying taking the notes, and looking forward to being able to apply it in future days.
This is a super valuable, curriculum, everything you're teaching us, everything, and then everything everyone's sharing, the network, it's just amazing. Just want to speak on the value of that. So thank you for, for this you're doing for us.
Thank you, Byron. Thank you, T, for all the good advice and tips you taught me. I really enjoy this course from the first minute, because you're teaching me lots of useful and reality-based tips and tricks for daily operation, and I really enjoyed it. And also you're teaching people to show and to have respect, and for me it's very important.
One thing that I like most about the training with Byron, it was relaxed, laid back, and straightforward. He used a lot of good examples of his career and what to do and not to do.
Just wanted to say thank you to Byron, Rodgers, Mike, and everybody else in the class for all your super awesome support. the loyalty and brotherhood in the group is really a huge draw. Another large draw is obviously having that study material there all the time.
Some of the things that I got out of the program were the advanced module, the operations module, as well as the social dynamics. Byron Rodgers provided excellent insight as well as real-world examples and scenarios for us to add to our base knowledge. I would like to take this time to thank Byron and Bravo Research Group, as well as my fellow students. I've enjoyed this program thoroughly. I hope to network with some of you, as well as to get a chance to get on a detail with you some days.
First and foremost, this is such an awesome program. I can't say enough about the program. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad I was a part of it. I'm glad that, Byron, you gave me the opportunity to be a part of this program. I've learned a lot. It's helped me out tremendously at work. It's increased my knowledge, my skills tenfold.
The biggest thing that I think I picked up on this class was their social dynamics and soft skills. During the social dynamics portion, he explained how to work with your team, how to deal with client problems, and how to address the royal court. All these skills are required to be a great EP agent.
Boom, yo. So I hope you guys enjoyed that brief segment. Just a glimpse into what we're doing in the Training Day Success Package. We're helping people get what they want out of their careers. You know, we're not just teaching you how to do executive protection, but we're teaching you how to have the career, not just how to do it, do the work, but how to also improve the quality of your career. And then we're joining people with a network of other agents in the industry to help find opportunities, because the value that you get from a network is literally priceless. It's exponentially, it's immeasurable, right? Relationships, everything good and bad comes through relationships. Relationship equity is way more important and powerful than financial gain. So, but that's one of the byproducts of relationship equity is financial gain. So, you know, I just wanted you guys to understand that. And then also you got to hear from me as I lead the groups, as I work with agents that are in the groups, and I help them as best I can move their careers forward to achieve their goals. The Executive Protection Training Day Success Package through the League of Executive Protection Specialists is way more than just training. It's an ecosystem to help you be successful in what it is we do. Executive protection, take you from being a generalist to a specialist. And the price is, you can't beat the price. So if you're interested in taking another look at it, go to executiveprotectiontrainingday.com. Or click the link in my bio on Instagram or many of my social media platforms, but executiveprotectiontrainingday.com. Go there, check it out. Thank you for listening. I love you guys. Thanks for the support. Let's make the world a better place by helping good people become more dangerous. Byron Rodgers, protector by nature and by trade. Boom. Boom. And to support this podcast, go to executiveprotectionlifestyle.com and contribute to our Patreon account. That Patreon account is what helps me make this podcast possible, contributing to this brand, what we're doing here, making it so that I can bring better guests on, making it so that we can plan more events and just expand the contribution to the private security industry, and also to making America a safer place. Do whatever you can, contribute whatever you can, because it makes all of these things possible. Thanks for those contributions. Yo, and before we go, you know, I got a shout out to the sponsors, starting out with Primary Weapon Systems, PWS. They truly are the evolution of the rifle. Use Byron for 10% off. Grayman & Company, the most comfortable tactical suits in the game. Use Byron for 10% off with them. Until the next podcast, this is Byron Rodgers, protector by nature and by trade. Out. Boom.